brings it home. Before the Liberty fell to the Aces in 4 games. Clark connects on a
I am Jambari Moreau. We have Randy in the building. We have Q in the building. The unapologetic, the always original. She shoots, she scores. This is episode 4. Episode 4. We are talking Angel Reese. Could she be the lead runner for potential Rookie of the Year? We're talking Caitlin Clark, changing numbers for streaming. This is episode 4. Let's get into it. Caitlin Clark's inaugural weekend in the WNBA has been nothing short of remarkable. Despite the Indiana Fever's losses, her performances have set new records, have drawn unimpressive attention to the league. Her standout game against the New York Liberty helped set a WNBA single season or single game ticket revenue with recording over $2 million. Now, throughout the weekend, Clark scored 20 points in her debut. She committed 10 turnovers, then soon enough followed that up later in the weekend with a 22-point game, 8 assists, 6 rebound performance against the New York Liberty. My question is, how will Caitlin Clark continue to influence ticket sales and viewership in the WNBA, both on and off the court? And can Caitlin Clark sustain this high level of interest throughout the season while maintaining her performance on the court? I think that Caitlin Clark played amazing over the weekend against New York for a rookie point guard. The fact that she is able to command the floor was something interesting to see. Now, the first game against New York, obviously, her team got railroaded. They got smacked by an MVP. They put her in her place. Obviously, Breanna Stewart, we already know what she does. She right now is on track. We're going to talk about her in our power rankings. She's arguably leading the best team in the W right now. Obviously, I'd go Las Vegas, but still, she responded back in her second game. In her first game in New York, she had just logo threes. I mean, that's something that you can never deny when you're going against Caitlin Clark. It was also interesting to see the dynamic against her and Sabrina, who, again, Clark outscored. That game was just interesting to see. And then, funny enough, the vets actually gave her praise, which I think was really interesting.
You know, I think that us up here, it's respect. Obviously, we know she's a great player, and just trying to do whatever we can to make it tough.
Yeah, I think the media needs to give her a little bit of grace and time to develop into into a player, you know, and she's learning every game as she's out there. And
so I just thought that was really interesting to see at the fact that a lot of people are changing their mind. Like Breanna Stewart said, the fact that it is all respect and that she is a tough cover, and that the fact that they have to play up on her and treat her in a certain light because they know what she's about to do. And she almost, I mean, again, she's having a tough time, you know, obviously winning in this league. And as some people have said that, oh, she's not a winner, et cetera, which, you know, is silly. But I'm sorry. And between her last college game and her first professional game, rather, and I mean, with little to no practice time, and she came in and dropped 20 and then again dropped another 20 piece. And yeah, I think it's just interesting to see the fact that, again, she's selling out arenas, and you know, there's not a lot more you can say about her. And the fact that you know, that she's gonna be a problem once she I feel like she's already figured it out, but once she even just develops a little bit more strength. And I'll let y'all kind of take it over right quick.
In my opinion, DJ, this is what we expected. She's shown the range since college, and that's what we know. I'm going to stand 10 toes down when I say I'm not surprised that she's. Let me run down some stats for you right now. Right now, Caitlin is 21 for 51, and she's shooting 41% from the field goal and 34% from beyond the arc. Right. We expected her to be a shooter. Like, I expected that. But I'm going to give her praise. But first, if you want to be a great player, you got to make the other players around you great. She has to work on her passing. On that first game, a lot of those turnovers, she was forcing some passes, and a lot of the times she wasn't.
Which first game?
Her debut game. Some of those passes, some of those turnovers, she was trying to force the issue, trying to thread the needle. It wasn't necessary. She was some of those turnovers, she was less than 10 feet from the rim, and instead of floating it up or getting a good mid-range jump shot, she was trying to force the pass. Some of those shots,
Continue.
some of those shots, she's got to spread the floor. And they started, the Fever started playing better when she was moving the ball more and allowing other players to get in rhythm. Because again, Caitlin Clark is a shooter. She has that shot on a switch whenever she wants to turn it on, and she gets open. She's shown us, and she is still showing us that she could let the ball fly. But I want to see growth as a player. I want to see more passing. I want to see better shot selection. It's gonna be tough. The game's coming at her quick. It's gonna take some adjustment. But I want her to grow, man. That's it.
And if I could just also add, so Caitlin Clark just played and we're gonna speak about her last game or her most recent performance against Connecticut, or second performance rather. But before that game, she ranked right now 5th in minutes played. She ranked 2nd in assists. This is before her 4th professional game. She ranked 2nd in assists in the league. This is a rookie.
I know you're not talking about preseason.
No, I'm talking about in the first 3 games of the season, which was first after the first 3 games of the season. She just played in her 4th, and we're going to talk about her 4th a little bit later. So after her first 3 games in the season, this is how she ranked in the WNBA. She ranks right now 2nd in assists in the league, total assists, 17 assists, 22nd in total rebounding, 7th in total points at 51 points, tied for 1st in free throw percentage. She's 1st in 3-pointers made, 13th in field goals made, and she's 18th in effective field goal in efficiency, rather. 18th in this is a rookie. Now you can continue what you were saying.
She has 12. She's 12 for 35 on 3-pointers. Right.
12 for okay, great. I mean, I'm listening.
35 beyond 25 feet. Right. She's from 25 to 29 feet. She's 9 for 28. From 30 to 34 feet, she's 3 for 5. She's chucking it up, bro. She's getting her shots and she's letting them off. Who else is gonna shoot them? It's like no disrespect to the people on our team, but we literally expected this of her. When you look at shots within 20 feet, she's literally has shot 2 from 15 to 19 feet, 1 from 10 to 14 feet, 1 from 5 to 9 feet, and basically 12 layups. She's 7 for 12 on layups. Like, come on, bro.
So do you think that's the reason why they're not winning? Because she's not shooting layups?
No. There's multiple reasons.
So then if it's not that, then what's the problem with her game?
There's multiple reasons. I'm saying it's part of her game, right? Because we're giving her a whole lot of flowers, which is understandable with the power of media and everything going on. But if we're really talking, if you want to match the dominance and the aura that she's receiving from the media, this is the popularity she's bringing to the game that Candace Parker should have received her flowers, because that was a player that came in the game and dominated immediately. And people were a lot of people were, oh, she's gonna dominate. No, she's gonna score. He had a great performance, right? Where is he at?
So that means he's trash.
He's racing horses right now. He ain't in the playoffs.
That means Joker's trash,
bro. You won the MVP, right?
Does that mean he's trash? Okay, so he's obviously he's not trash. Okay, so what are you saying?
I'm not saying she's trash. I'm saying she's a shooter.
She's saying she's a bust? She a bust? She's trash? What is it?
That's what a dog does. She's a shooter. That's what she does. She's going to shoot.
Nah, she's more than a shooter. I don't know about that. That's like saying Steph is a shooter. That's disrespectful.
Okay, so name her stats, including turnovers.
Let's
drop the averages. Let's drop the averages. Yeah, she's
I just showed you the ranks. I just showed you the ranks.
5. And how many turnovers? So you want to add that? She's averaging 17, 6, and 5 and 5. If you want to add the turnovers in the game.
How about this? Since you don't like that stats, how about this? Since you don't like that, Caitlin Clark joined. This is over her first 3 games. She joined Candace Parker, Sue Bird, and Nikki McCray as the only WNBA players to ever have 50 plus points and 15 plus assists. What is you saying?
He wants you to include turnovers. That's what he's saying.
Look at the box scores, bro.
Oh, speaking of that's funny that you brought up the turnovers. That's funny that you brought up this because I got a stat for that too.
She can shoot. The girl can play. I'm not taking that away from her. But she has to evolve her all-around game in order to be a more dominant player. Because what if she gets put in a situation where she's getting doubled the entire game? She has to make the right passes. She has to make the right reads. Perfect example. Edwards been getting double teamed for the past 3 games of the series, bro. Last night he dropped 16 points, but what did he do? He still found a way to pass the ball, to move the ball, to still affect the game.
You know, she averages more assists than Anthony Edwards, though, right?
Okay.
Hey, man.
And
y'all should have known this was coming because that's Caitlin Clark boy right there.
Speaking
and this is someone who I ain't gonna lie, Randy's strict. So like he's seen 10 turnovers and he said, oh yeah, that gotta stop right now before that become like a consistent problem.
And speaking of and I'll let you finish, Q, but just to add on, because he was mentioning the turnovers, I wanted to get this stat for you too, because I know we spoke about it. Mm-hmm. So she's the first player to ever log 21 turnovers over their first 3 WNBA games. So yes, I do agree with you. She needs to work on her turnovers. She's a rookie point guard. It happens, right? So I'll repeat that. She's the first player to ever log 21 turnovers over their first 3 WNBA games. Only one other player has had over 20 plus turnovers over their first 3 WNBA games. Cynthia Cooper, who obviously is on some people's Mount Rushmore. She was a regular season MVP and a champion in '97. Houston Comets, obviously, we know Cheryl Swoops.
A lot of people see the 20 points and be like, dang, that's great for a rookie. But Randy see them 10 turnovers, and he's saying if you want that to be a future MVP, a future leader of your franchise, if you want the best version of her, them turnovers have to be cut down tremendously. And we kind of seen it with her second game. I believe you said earlier in her second game she had 3 turnovers versus the 10, which is way better. And that's what you really want. You just want the best player on your team to be, not only effective when it comes to points, but also efficient when it comes to handling the ball. If they're going to have the ball in their hands, like a Caitlin Clark.
You're right. True.
My point is this, bro. She plays. Can she play? Absolutely, right? But with a lot of with that position she's in, there's a lot of pressure that comes with that position. So people are expecting you to grow, and they're expecting you to grow quickly because there's a lot of hype coming around your name. I understand. You're bringing so many you're bringing so much viewership. You're growing the game, so a lot is expected.
Not only her. She's not only growing.
Not only her. She's not the only one. But as we can see, the league is favoring and putting a face. They're highlighting. I don't know if you noticed this, but I did. When they lost, Caitlin Clark wasn't on she wasn't the only fever. She wasn't even on the front page when they lost. It was 3 other players when they lost. You're the top dog. That target is on your back, right? The target is on your back. We expected it from LeBron. We expected it from number 1 draft picks. When you're the number 1 draft pick, certain things are expected of you, and this is one of them. You're not being offered greatness, but you're in that position where people want you to be great.
Speaking of greatness, we were going to speak about the Las Vegas Aces, who are getting ready to gear up for a three-peat, have been investigated by the WNBA. Now, the Las Vegas Aces players have each received $100,000 from an annual sponsorship from Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. Now, this raised compliance issues with the league. Now, my question is this. The WNBA has now launched an investigation for this Las Vegas Aces team for over $100,000. What could this investigation mean for the Aces and the future sponsorships in the W? So that they're saying that essentially it could be a salary cap issue. So what if Mark Cuban were to just say, here's $100 million to each player instead of $100,000, right? And then every player from the Las Vegas Aces essentially recruits I don't know. You have to look into compliance. So it's a compliance issue. They don't want people paying outside of the salary cap. That's something else that could happen. What if the Vegas Aces just says, hey, okay, I'll take $1 and then they get paid $1 billion by Mark Cuban, and then the next, they get all the best players for under the cap,
But that
can be monopoly. They don't want the Avengers to assemble, even though the Avengers
Assemble.
is already there.
Yeah, I'm
So-
confused because people get sponsorships all the time. And if Las Vegas, if you're in an area where it's high tourism, a lot of people, and you're bringing in business. So,
And
like,
this is from the Las Vegas Convention and Visitors Authority. So this is actual from the community. So I mean, go. You continue.
the community is feeding back into its organization. Granted, it's outside the salary cap, but that's within the W and the players. That's what they're signed to play for. But when basketball players are going to restaurants and they're like, "Don't worry,"
Or when they're flying to Europe,
or when the league gives out free tickets for floor seats to celebrities, that's no problem. But your players getting paid some extra money by the community, that's the issue.
There has to be more like to compliance, because I mean, obviously on the surface, it just doesn't make sense. He could have just mailed it to him in the check instead of making his gram. He just here, I had 100,000 get it in my check.
I mean, or they could not post the video.
House, huh?
They could have just not posted the video.
Yeah.
You just sent 100,000. Hey, we're checking here.
Hey, look, I'm committing a crime.
You record me, everyone. Yeah. No, that's. I don't think that was
let the leagues get money, man. For a long time, this league has the number one complaint has been the women are not being paid enough, and now that they're being paid something close, not even close, but something. Now they're being paid something extra. Now it's another problem. Like the wind's beneath your wings. Don't take the wind from their sails. Like now is literally not the time.
Real quick, we're going to go into our triple threat. So we're going to dribble, pass, and shoot. These are the best passers. These are the best highlights from crossovers. And these are the best shooters. First, quickly, let's get into dribble. We have Ryan Howard of the Atlanta Dream.
Come on, bro.
Paul Pierce was
her snatch game is serious.
Yeah. She snatched that bit like a yo-yo.
All right.
Mad Mama.
The next person we have up, shout out to is Alyssa Thomas. She had a triple double to start the weekend. 13 points, 10 rebounds, 13 assists. And then she followed that up with another performance, 13, 11, and 6. She is our best passer, so we're giving her the passer rating or the passer badge, etc. So we're giving that to Alyssa Thomas. Again, crazy hooper, great, very versatile, dynamic player, Connecticut Sun, Alyssa Thomas. And our last person is none other than the shooter and two of our panel's picks on this panel, Orike Ogunbowale, who had 35 points. She hit 6 threes, step backs from 35. We have footage of it.
I don't want to sound right, but I kind of do.
You do. Go ahead.
Yeah.
I called out Alyssa and I called out Orike. And Alyssa been moving, boy. She runs the floor, and the fact that she's fundamental and could put the ball in the basket around the rim it's a threat because it spreads that floor. Like she forces someone to step up, and then she's a body, so she could back them down. She could hit the light jumper, or she could pass. Man, I'm telling you, be careful.
She's good for it. She's good for it, for sure. Absolutely.
Write that check.
Now we are going to move into our what if segment. What if? So we're going to explore a hypothetical scenario. And today our scenario is this. We find Angel Reese on the Indiana Fever and Caitlin Clark on the Chicago side, on the Chicago Sky. How do you think that these two teams would fare? And how would this dynamic change?
The dynamic would change because instead of two bigs for Chicago, it's one. You're adding another guard, so obviously it's going to be probably an inside-out game. A lot of screens, a lot of post work and off-ball screens. Angel Reese at the Fever or with the Fever, it might give the guards, the other points, more space to run the floor, and it gives you a different look at the game. because right now that offense is looking to just run through Caitlin, let her figure it out and shoot, because that's what it looks like. Rather than, move the ball around, ball movement, get it inside the post. You never know, get somebody in foul trouble, give it to the guards to attack, shoot, whatever it is. But it just changed the dynamic of the game just based off the positions of the players. But will they still be losing? Yes.
I think if Angel Reese was on the Fever instead of Caitlin, they would at least won one game instead of having a 0-4 record. On the flip side, I think the ticket sales and the revenue that Caitlin is bringing into the WNBA would probably be even more because Chicago is a bigger market, better opportunities for just exposure, really. Like, one, it establishes the name of the city and the team name Chicago Sky, whereas Indiana Fever doesn't really say where the team is in Indiana. There's not that specific uniqueness to the team versus like a Chicago Sky.
But same thing with the Pacers.
Well, and that's funny that you say that, because similar to the Pacers, one reason why I think that Angel Reese would do well, first of all, and we're going to get into Angel Reese a little bit later in our rookie rankings. We got a lot to say about Angel Reese. Awesome player. Great. Love Angel Reese.
Great vibe.
Yeah, love Angel Reese. So, well, we got a lot to talk about her. So, and this is the reason why I thought of this. So we're watching the game. I'm thinking, I'm like, Aaliyah Boston would benefit having a dog like Angel Reese on her team. And this is I'm gonna play this clip. So she always finds herself in these types of little situations. So this is Jonquel Jones of the New York Liberty. This happened over the weekend. She was upset over some type of foul call, and then she ends up pushing Aaliyah in the back. So we're just gonna watch on replay real quick. So Aaliyah's going for a layup. She didn't take exception to what she does after the whistle. So wouldn't get tangled up, and then she just goes straight into her face. Now, right there, right there, I would expect somebody like Angel already in the picture. And I'm not saying she's gonna fight, but I would just expect her to be there. So Angel Reese, I feel like, would benefit. She would have a great big, obviously playing in Chicago. But now, on the flip, if Caitlin were to play in Chicago and being coached by Teresa Weatherspoon, who also was a great perimeter player in her own right back in New York, yeah, I mean that would do her wonders. Especially if you talk about turnovers, Randy, and you talk about her game would absolutely be transformed, and it would be she'd be an even better player, because it's like she would get a lot of bad habits would leave her game quick. With Weatherspoon under that coaching staff. But obviously, I like where they're at. I think Indiana's a perfect place for her, and I think Chicago's a perfect place for Angel. And I think it worked out. Perfect for both of them.
Yeah, you're right. I know I mentioned this the night that we watched Caitlin play her first debut night. She should not run the point. I'm not saying it's a spite to her game at all, but if you're bringing the ball down, initiating offense, and you're expected to score and then go back and play defense, that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of energy. And that energy has to be dispersed, whether from the responsibility of bringing the ball down and creating the play. She did a great job her opening night as a spot-up jumper, which she got the opportunities and the looks and just got the ball and she didn't even put it down. She just went straight up to the shot. She was an excellent shooter, but it's tiresome, man. It takes from your legs having to guard somebody. Like, bruh, you have somebody like Dejanay guarding you. Man, you won't be tired, brother. You won't be tired. If you was guarding her.
Q, if you had something to say?
Yeah, wait. Time out. Different what if scenario, because I ain't gonna lie. Cameron Brink playing pretty solid. What if it was Cameron Brink in Chicago or in Indiana and either Angel Reese in LA or Caitlin Clark in LA?
So give us the scenario. Which one do you want? Let's
just say Cameron Brink and Caitlin Clark switch cities.
Okay.
What? It's the same what if question. Or what if it was Angel Reese out in
Cameron Brink would be like, if anybody being coached by Weatherspoon is going to be better. her offensive game. Cameron Brink would even be. I think she'd be even better than she is in Los Angeles if she were Weatherspoon for sure.
Cameron Brink's debut game looked really good. She was doing
Yo.
all aspects. So, like in that, bruh, that little skirt, oh, that little cross.
Well, so keep an eye on the top rookies in the WNBA this season, highlighting some of their early performances and their key stats, as well as their potential impacts on their teams. We're going to speak today about Cameron Brink, Angel Reese, Rickea Jackson, as well as Kate Martin. Now, I want you to rank the rookies, or who are your top 5 rookies, rather? How would you rank them so far?
Number one, my selection for Rookie of the Year, Angel. And D, you might feel some type of way, but Cameron Brink is number 2 for me, and then Caitlin Clark. Because I think, it's one thing their contributions to offense is good, but it's also the contribution on the defensive end as well that's really impressing me. Which is why I have the order that I do. No gripe against your girl Caitlin, but yeah, Angel 1, Cameron 2, Caitlin 3.
It's okay. You saying they skating by Caitlin Clark?
What do you say?
They're skating by Caitlin Clark, and they're
Like
she in the
Apollo,
grocery store.
like Apollo
Excuse
Ono.
me.
Like Apollo Ono, man.
They're sitting there side like is she in the club? Excuse me, baby girl.
They skating by her like roll bounce, man.
Yo, look,
ATL.
I'm gonna agree with you. I'm gonna agree with you, man. It's great to score 20 points, but when you have 10 turnovers that lead to transition buckets, your 20 points become null and void, right? And I don't want to harp on her first game. I really don't. But we're going by numbers, and numbers don't lie. But if I'm going to go number 1, it's going to be Angel. Number 2, I have Caitlin. And number 3, I have Brink. Cameron Brink. Yeah.
We're going to pause there. I'm going to show you what ESPN, how they rank their rookies. So this is Andrea Carter, who ranked her rookies from ESPN. We're going to go over there. She ranked Angel Reese number 1 because she is the first rookie that actually won. She is the only rookie that won. She had 11.8 11 points per game, 8.5 rebounds. You can insert that graphic. Caitlin Clark was listed at number 2. Obviously, I mean, she had 22, 8, and 6 against New York. As I mentioned, she scored. This is crazy. She scored or assisted 41 of the Fever's points, which is nearly 51%. This is that okay.
That coach is going to do what Tibbs does to his players. She will run them to the ground.
So here it goes. So Randy, to your turnovers, Michael Vopel mentioned this. Turnovers are the roughest thing so far for Clark. Was more than of them, 21, more than any, as we mentioned the stat, more than any WNBA. You could cut that. You could cut that.
Her attitude.
Number 3, they have mentioned Rickea Jackson, actually. So she had 13 points coming off a 5-6 shooting performance off the field against Las Vegas. She played well. We gave it to Cam because of the defensive end, but we're just showing you the difference between Cam, obviously ESPN and our ranking. Cameron Brink was listed next. And then after her,
they got number 2.
Listen, I saw her debut game. I was there to see Angel's debut game. I'm all for it. Unfortunately, I didn't see her first professional win, but shout out to Angel. She's awesome. Like I said, she's one of the nicest people I've ever met. She's just really nice, like nice woman, nice young lady. And she's inspired the kids. She's a really good kid, really, really young, really nice young woman, rather. So here are our power rankings according to ESPN. So number 1, we have the Las Vegas Aces, who remain undefeated. They are one of the undefeated teams in the league, as well as the New York Liberty, who are number 2. The New York Liberty are 3-0. The Vegas Aces are 2-0. Breanna Stewart is having, again, an MVP season. Asia Wilson is as well. Asia Wilson at the moment is the 3rd leading scorer in the league. And the Phoenix Mercury, who is a huge surprise, they just shot up. They're in the top 5. That finishes off the top 5.
Sounds about right. I expected the New York Liberty to come out firing. I expected Las Vegas to come out firing. In Connecticut, I expected that, but I did not expect Phoenix. Didn't expect that at all. They weren't even on my list. Like, to be honest with you.
So Caitlin's fourth professional game. She did, as Randy mentioned, she did get hurt in the first quarter. She was playing well. She got aggressive. She got to the rim. She came back in the second half after she got injured in the second quarter, and then she really took off in the fourth, which everybody's been waiting to see. Now the Fever ended up losing the game, which is unfortunate. Now they are 0-4, and they have one of the worst records in the league, if not the worst record, which is why I keep saying Angel Reese has a huge chance to win Rookie of the Year, especially if they can win enough. Caitlin just has to have enough stats to win the award, because they're not going to win it with wins. So just in the fourth quarter, she played really well. She had 7 points, 5 assists in the fourth. She had a 33-foot dagger. She had 2 points and 2 assists during clutch time. I mean, she played well. The Fever came up short. I know Aaliyah Boston missed a chippy at the rim to go into OT, or to win the game rather. But I mean, the fact that, again, she's being guarded by DeWanna Bonner, Alyssa Thomas, and they're trying to have her way, but they're not. They're not able to. And again, this is her fourth game. She scored 17, I believe, this game, and this is after sitting 5 or 6 minutes with a tweaked ankle. They need to give the women some time in between the draft, college, training camp, rest, because it makes little to no sense that they haven't had rest. That's easily why we're going to start seeing other rookies get hurt, etc. There's a lot of injuries that are popping up. Natasha Howard just broke her foot. So I mean, it just is unfortunate, but that's just I want to just give my quick thoughts on that game right quick.
I'll say this real quick though, because I was in a group chat video call, and the guys who are in there that traditionally don't watch WNBA basketball, they were all talking about that dagger that Caitlin Clark hit from damn near the logo. And one of the things they said specifically was that that arena sounded like an NBA Finals game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Cambridge Fieldhouse it's an NBA arena, and that's what I was saying. It's the perfect place. She's playing in an NBA arena with NBA amenities, et cetera, et cetera. This is their crown jewel, quote unquote. I'm saying that, quote unquote. Obviously, this is their draw to the league. But yeah, I mean, they're putting their money where their mouth is, especially with her, and they're reaping the rewards, because, like you said, you got friends texting you from your group chat. I've seen people in their first WNBA game wearing Angel Reese jerseys. So it's been great to see that. I'll ask you this: why do you think, and if we could add this topic, and why do you think stars haven't translated from college to the W, but with Caitlin and Angel, there is essentially a following that is making them grow in status versus diminish?
And earlier today, I was kind of looking into that. Just like seeing what kind of effect that these players are having on the league from like a news article standpoint. And interesting enough, there was an article written about Caitlin Clark. This is not my own beliefs. This is just something I've seen published by, I believe, Fox News, where they said what makes Caitlin different is the fact that is her race and her sexuality that is helping her become more of a superstar than former players or even current players that we're seeing in the league right now. And I just, again, not saying I agree with it, kind of don't agree with it, but it's just a real interesting take, I think. Unpause question mark.
Because I was about to agree with you to a certain extent. I think it's part of the league's fault. And because the culture has always been behind women's basketball. Like, we've heard Lil Wayne mention Skylar Diggins, Candace Parker. The culture has always mentioned, like, great basketball players. But the league hasn't pushed for it. And the fact that we were able to see the rivalry between Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark, and that rivalry played into their their junior and into their senior year. We got to witness that. Like, a lot of people say, the WNBA is becoming more interesting because you get to watch the storyline. You get to watch these players develop, get to know who they are, understand how they play. So by the time they hit the league, you kind of already know what's going on, rather than certain players that one and done from the NCAA to the league, they turn into completely different players.
And
So
that's an interesting thing that you brought up. You use the word storyline. One of the things that make pretty much any sports league watchable is a storyline. Um, Take for instance, sports entertainment, WWE. What makes WWE so interesting, such a draw, and captivates the fans is a quality storyline. The quality storyline is the Angel Reese, the Caitlin Clark, the back and forth, like I said, and a couple other, is literally their version of a Magic Johnson and a Larry Bird. It's a storyline that captivates not just the person who's going to watch the WNBA games, but the person who might hear something about the WNBA, and draw them in because the storyline is captivating. It's interesting. Aside from that, I really think they really did a job on actually marketing their players. Um, Given that exposure with brand deals outside of things that just deal with basketball, clothing lines, shoes, et cetera, et cetera. Because with those deals, it gives the people, it dives into other people's worlds. So let the Skims, for instance, there's a whole world or community that likes their Skims or whatever. However, with the WNBA entering that community with having players model the Skims, it introduces those players to the Skims community. Some of those people who would have never known who a Dejanay Carrington or a Lexi Brown was before they started modeling Skims, or sneakerheads with the Sabrina Inosuke shoe. It introduces her to people who only care about, Lillards or Kyries or KDs or Jordans, you know?
the Taylor Swift effect. People didn't.
Yes.
Some people did not
Yes, yes,
did
yes.
not watch football before, and now they're like, "Oh, I had no idea who this guy Travis Kelce was," but the football world knows who he is. But
Exactly.
they're just bringing a different demographic. But I do agree with a part of race and a part of just publicity, man. Because like now I'm seeing Asia Wilson in commercials and State Farm commercials. This should have been happening. These are people that are recognizable. These are stars in their recognizable sport. Why is it taking so long for them to be put into a commercial? It's something as simple as that. Or like, for example, Asia got her a shoe deal after Caitlin Clark did, but Asia's what, a 2-time MVP. That doesn't make sense.
Now,
It's
to-
a really great
Because they
storyline.
haven't put it in the storyline for her.
but why do you say that? I don't think that that's true. I don't. Nobody paid attention to Caitlin Clark.
Yes. What are you talking about? What do you mean?
So
No one's
thi-
paying
and-
attention?
okay, now, so I'll say this. This is what I'll say. This is what I'll say. Because y'all asked me why I think, or why is she popular. This is why I think she's popular. All right.
She's white.
So So the WNBA, right, it's been in existence for over 27 years, or it's the 27th year of the W. So basketball we're older than the sport for women's basketball professionally in America. We haven't seen in the league, there has never been a player that shoots from 35 feet that is a female. So to me, she is the first person that is around the back, 35 feet. I'm pulling, and she looks like the other one from 35 feet. That's a male. So and then it just goes back to women getting better, right? So like we shared Kiki Iriafen dunking off a pick and roll. Soon enough, as the game it's gonna keep evolving, right? Just like Wembenyama, just like Anthony Edwards is Jordan with a 3, right? As the game continues, as Magic Johnson, LeBron is, okay. As the game continues, she's Diana Taurasi that can shoot from 35, which means she's Steph Curry. So as the game evolves, these players are just gonna get better. Soon enough, Michael Jordan's gonna hit the WNBA. And I'm talking about Juju Watkins. So it's like we're gonna see these players do X, Y, and Z. But I think personally, it's just because she's just the one-on-one, and just we're gonna see another one-on-one soon, and another one-on-one. And as these players start to just get better, Brittany Griner made the league popular. Obviously they were losing revenue. Brittany Griner, me and weird watching her dunk in high school, saying, I don't know, could you beat her? So yeah, it's Candace Parker too, Maya Moore. So it's like they've all made the game a little bit more, but she's just taking it to the next level because again, we're used to seeing the three because of Steph, right? And now she's like a girl that could do the same thing Steph can. She can't cross. I don't think she can cross over like him.
She could only
But
shoot. Steph can.
she can shoot. Oh, she absolutely shoot like him. I mean, but she don't need the crossover in a game to be effective, which is another reason why I think she's great. Like, there's so much room. If she was Weatherspoon, she'd get that in her bag next year. She would have that in her bag next year.
You said she don't need a crossover in her game to be a.
Meaning this, right? So like if you don't need to, you don't have to, that's a fallacy. You do not have to have a crossover dribble to make sure you're an effective point guard. No. Andre Miller will cross you up, but he's not known for a killer crossover. Like he's not Allen Iverson with a crossover. But Andre Miller could give you a cross. She could cross you, but she's not gonna come down the court and try and shake
She's
and
not
bake
gonna
you.
beat you off the crossover, brother.
Huh? Say it again.
She's a Dejanay.
Right.
She needs more than a jump shot to beat certain teams.
She needs more than a jumper. She needs to get. She's getting better. She's a rookie. I'm not worried about
No. Let's harp on it, brother. At first he was like, nah, she's great. No. She needs
fine. Let's talk the ish. What she what now?
In the beginning, before I said she needs to develop an all-around game. Yes, you can shoot, but what happens when you're not allowed to shoot? When you're like, for example, when you're being doubled, what do you do then? I want to see what type of player you're going to become after that, because that says a lot about a person. And now that the media's been focusing on her doing a whole lot of her little attitude stint, all that stuff. That's what Twitter's talking about now. So how do you act when that pressure is on? Because when that pressure's burning your ass and you just and everything, you're not good under pressure. But some people, brother,
I think she's gonna be all right. But the pressure, under pressure.
I'm not speaking Chinese.
The popularity is there.
Yeah, the popularity.
Absolutely.
Sure. My question is: so we're gonna get ready for an exciting matchup as the Dallas Wings and Enrique Ogunbowale play against the Atlanta Dream and Ryan Howard, again, scoring champ versus an MVP. It's going to be a lot. So I have a quick take on this. I think that's going to be a great game. If you're going to see it, please. I mean, this 35-point, she scores out. Enrique is averaging 30 points a game this year. Ryan is averaging almost 20 points plus this year. Again, this is a great team. This is a good feature. Dallas right now is in the 9th on these power rankings, but they're going to move up. The head coach of Dallas is a great coach, Leticia Trammell. She's a head coach of the year candidate. I mean, she's a good coach. And then the last take, which is the Mercury versus Aces, Diana Taurasi comes back against Las Vegas. Obviously, I expect the Vegas Aces to just steamroll this team. Kalia Copper also second in scoring. Expect her to have a big game. But Las Vegas, again, they just have too much for most of these teams to do anything with. NBA Finals advertisement. My question is, with the NBA doing cross-brand promotion with the WNBA, what do you think that this means for the league? And how do you feel like stars like Angel Reese are playing an influence on women's basketball?
I got 3 things to say.
Go.
First thing, it's a great look, honestly, because all those people are recognizable, right? They're all familiar faces. So I don't see any issue with a familiar face being a woman or male in the room, because you have actors, actresses, everybody, right? And Angel Reese is a superstar in her own right. So I'm going to say that. Second thing, that basketball chandelier, fire. The rim chandelier, fire.
It's kind of like what I was saying earlier with the crossing over into different communities. Both of those women are beautiful. And again, for a lot of people, what attracts them is what they can see. So obviously they can see the two beautiful women. Outside of that, everyone pretty much is a recognizable person in that commercial. And so it kind of leaves or sparks the question, subliminally about who are these two women that I don't know for the person who doesn't watch the NBA. And
Right.
all it takes is a quick Google search. I mean, we do it anyways when we watch music videos and TV shows. When we see somebody that we don't know, who is this person? Boom. Now we're introduced to a whole new world. Saying nothing is different with this.
Well, I mean, just the last thing I was gonna say, Angel Reese moves the needle. She's a superstar in her own right. The culture, that's her. I mean, again, there's not enough nice things that I could say about her. She's a fierce athlete. She's a champ, and I love the line "champs only." Champs only. What a tough line. That's a tough line. Champs only. Clean. That's a tough line. Again, and it just personifies who she is. She's a winner. She's won every step of the way that she's been at. Whether it starts in high school, she's always done what she's needed to do to win. And again, she's unapologetic about herself, and I think she's an awesome player. And as well as she is who she is, and I love it. So I'm happy for her. Very happy for her and all of her success and fame that's happening for her.
Yep. Congratulations to the Rookie of the Year.
Ah,
We're gonna see. Absolutely. We're gonna see. It should be a fun race though. Great WNBA season. Now, Q, you brought up something. So I'm gonna let you shout out the cities. So I found this out. So thank you. So 1, 2, 3 cities shout out. Boom. There you go.
can Angel Reese do it both on and off the court? Prime example that she can.
I thought about something like I thought about that. I was like, that's what it said. She's a superstar. And then you see, okay, now lastly, I'll say this. Angel Reese at the Meg Thee Stallion concert. I love the fact that she brought her friends, she brought her coworkers rather, or her friends, coworkers, she brought her teammates to the game. I thought that was so cool. I think I saw Elizabeth Williams at the game. Good for her. Like that's good for them. Chicago Sky, they got it all unlocked.
Wait.
Chicago, so good for y'all.
Wait. I got a question. You said she was at the Meg Thee Stallion concert?
Yeah, Glorilla brought on stage at the Meg Thee Stallion concert. Yeah.
I'm gonna go do my research.
Do my Googles.
I'm gonna do my Googles.
That's episode 4. She shoots, she scores. Q, Randy, we in the building. We got some new co-hosts coming to you soon. So stay locked. We got some new things on the way. We're gonna have a lot of new things. I'm very excited to share with everybody. If you made it here, stick around. We got some things that we're gonna share with you next episode. Appreciate it. She shoots, she scores. Episode 4. Let's get it.
Shout out Chicago Sky. I love the roster. Thank you.